Did you know that over 60% of young men between 18 and 30 are now single, compared to just 30% of women in the same age group? This dramatic shift represents one of the most significant social changes of our generation. So what's really happening here? Let's start with the elephant in the room. Modern relationships have become incredibly complex. Men today face a unique set of pressures that previous generations didn't encounter. The traditional roadmap for relationships has been completely rewritten, and many men are struggling to find their place in this new landscape. Economic factors play a massive role in this trend. The average man in his 20s today earns significantly less in real terms than his father did at the same age. Housing prices have skyrocketed while wages have stagnated. Many men feel they can't meet traditional expectations of being a provider when they're barely keeping themselves afloat. This financial instability creates anxiety about entering serious relationships. But it's not just about money. The dating landscape itself has fundamentally transformed. Dating apps have created what economists call a marketplace dynamic. With endless options at their fingertips, both men and women approach relationships differently. Studies show that on most dating platforms, the top 10% of men receive 60% of the attention. This leaves many average men feeling invisible and discouraged. There's also a growing awareness of mental health considerations. Men are increasingly recognizing that they need to work on themselves before entering relationships. This self-awareness is actually healthy, but it means more men are choosing to stay single while they focus on personal growth. They're prioritizing therapy, education, and career development over romantic partnerships. The fear of divorce is another significant factor. Men have watched their fathers, uncles, and friends go through devastating divorces. They've seen the emotional toll and the financial consequences. In many jurisdictions, divorce settlements can leave men with limited access to their children and significant financial obligations. This isn't about being anti-commitment. It's about being risk-averse in a system they perceive as potentially unfair. Social expectations have also shifted dramatically. Men today are expected to be emotionally available, financially stable, physically fit, socially aware, and domestically competent. They're told to be strong but vulnerable, ambitious but present, confident but humble. These contradictory expectations create confusion about what's actually wanted from them. Many men feel they can never measure up to these impossible standards. The rise of what researchers call friendship recession affects men disproportionately. Men report having fewer close friends than ever before. Without strong social networks, the pressure on romantic relationships intensifies. When a relationship becomes someone's only source of emotional support, it often collapses under that weight. Some men are stepping back until they build healthier friend networks. There's also a cultural shift happening around purpose and meaning. More men are finding fulfillment through hobbies, careers, fitness, creative pursuits, and personal projects. They're discovering that happiness doesn't require a relationship. This isn't about rejecting women. It's about rejecting the idea that a man is incomplete without a partner. Pornography and digital entertainment have created alternative sources of satisfaction that previous generations didn't have. While this is controversial, research shows these outlets reduce the motivation to pursue real relationships. Men can access simulated intimacy without the vulnerability and effort that real relationships require. This isn't necessarily healthy, but it's a factor we can't ignore. The political climate has also made relationships more challenging. Dating across political lines has become increasingly difficult. Many men feel that expressing certain opinions or even remaining neutral on controversial topics makes them undateable. This polarization has shrunk the pool of compatible partners significantly. Communication breakdowns are happening more frequently. Many men report feeling that they're constantly walking on eggshells, afraid of saying the wrong thing. They worry about being misunderstood or having their intentions questioned. This anxiety makes authentic connection difficult. When you're afraid to be yourself, genuine intimacy becomes nearly impossible. So where does this leave us? Understanding this trend isn't about taking sides or assigning blame. It's about recognizing that massive social, economic, and technological changes have created new challenges for relationships. Men aren't walking away because they're broken or because women are problematic. They're responding rationally to a changed environment that makes traditional relationships more difficult and less appealing than before. The question isn't whether this trend is good or bad. The question is what it tells us about our society and where we're headed. As these patterns continue, we'll need to rethink how we approach relationships, expectations, and human connection in the modern world.